and welcome to Into the Minds of Madness. I'm your host, Chris Dicker, your local horror aficionado, and unfortunately not joining me once again is your local scaredy cat, Paul McWhirter. He's off, still enjoying himself in Thailand, sitting by the beach, drinking cocktails. Some people. Some people have the life. But since he's still not with us, joining me is someone who more than adequately fills his boots. Someone I'm a bit biased. I've known him for a bit. I've known him for a while. Yeah. It's my
years.
my little brother. This is like to introduce you to Sam Dicker.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, man.
Dude.
I'm an excited young man.
I'm excited to have you on, dude.
It has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get on this pod for ages. Ever since you pitched the idea to me, I was like, I'm going to make a pod. I was like, I would love to be on that pod. And
I
now
don't know what a podcast is, but I want to be there.
I need to be a part of it. Now I am finally on the pod.
It took us like 14 episodes, but still.
Oh, yeah, well, good things come to those who wait.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, speaking, like, it's just one of those happy accidents. Paul going away, and I needed someone to do it. I can't do it by myself. I think it'd be a bit boring, just me talking.
No.
Who knows? Someone might listen to it.
You might have like this internal moment of just snapping and create another persona, and you just have back and forth chats.
Oh, that could be interesting.
I think that's been done before, though.
I'm sure there's some experimental podcast out there. But, so yeah, with Paul away, I needed the right host, and I've been dying to cover this movie, and there's no one else I know who loves this movie as much as I do.
This movie.
This is the remake of George A. Romero's 1973 not so cult classic. This is 2010 version of The Crazies.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I love this film.
This movie is fantastic. All-time favorite horror movie in my books. Like,
and that's one thing.
Top
like,
of the list.
You are not you're nowhere near a horror fan like I am, but you like good shit.
Yeah. When something comes along, catches my eye, I will sit there and I will enjoy the shit out of it.
You've got... So, like, you haven't seen The Shining, like Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
No.
Like, it's like when people found out when I was like 18, I hadn't seen Fight Club or shit like that. Like, what's wrong with you?
I still get in shit for not watching Titanic. Like, it's one of those movies you have to watch.
But fuck, it's funny you mentioned that. Like, I was thinking about this the other day because I hate that piece of shit. That soppy crap.
I can't hate it. I haven't watched it.
Oh, you don't need to.
I don't want to even grow the hatred for it.
But this, like, I didn't realize how big Titanic was back then. Like, not the ship itself, of course.
It was a pretty big ship.
That fucking movie. Because I remember, like, a kid my age, like, I can't remember how old I was when that came out. Maybe he's a little bit older than me. But he told me he saw it 20 times.
20 times?
How can you sit through that movie more than twice? Like, I can't sit through it once without being, like, bored to tears.
This is my favorite horror movie, and I've watched it 5 times. I can't sit through it 20 times.
I just remember not speaking to that kid after that. Like, I'm offended by your taste.
We're not friends.
That was a bit weird sidetrack, but yeah, speaking of like good shit and like Logan exposed me to horror, like showing me his dad's collection, and which now I kind of own, which is
that's pretty awesome.
It's a weird kind of feeling,
but he kind of scratched the surface.
Yeah,
he kind of just exposed to you a little
picking
bit.
That Band-Aid a little bit.
He wasn't throwing you in the deep end, but he was just like there's this world here, man. But check it.
You are my buddies to watch it with. Like my fondest moment of. I think I was maybe 15, maybe a bit older, closer to 18 maybe. Yeah, probably a bit closer to 18. Our local Video Easy at Irvington,
that's right.
It closed down.
Yeah.
I remember the day it happened. I got a call from my buddy and he's like, dude, Video Easy's closing. $1 a movie. I'm on my way.
What a dream come true.
Screamed up the street. And
Yeah.
met him out the front. We went in and I still wasn't a horror fan then. I was still a bit scared of it. I was truly terrified of horror, and could say you just weren't. Neither way.
I had seen a few like bits of horror movies when I was a kid, and I have to say I was quite scared of them. But like, I think I got to this age where, you know, you realize it is just a movie.
Yeah.
And then you just take it at face value and enjoy it for what it is. So I think that's where I'm at now with horror films, as opposed to being a little bitch about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Being all terrified.
I think I was just more scared of the scene in one movie where there was ice skates in someone's face. I was like, no, this is too much for me.
Ooh.
Can't remember what movie it is.
It's probably like a Final Destination or something like that.
Oh no, there was a cloaked killer of some sort. He had I can't remember.
Oh, it's probably like I know he did last summer or something.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think of like the age.
Yeah, it sounds like something that would happen
seen
then.
like a sleepover, like Scream or something like that.
It was pretty much that kind of situation, and pretty certain I had nightmares all night.
Lovely. It's a good horror movie.
Yeah, it's a good horror movie for an 11-year-old.
But anyway, picture yourself. This is mid 2000s. I don't know how old I am.
You're 27, I think.
Oh, thank you.
Shouldn't have to remind you of that, dude.
I don't know when I went to that Video Easy, but anyway, going through and walking past the horror section, I've walked past 1,000 times.
And just finally being able to grab everything you wanted.
Mum ain't there. Oh. Mum doesn't have the Video Easy card.
Yeah, she doesn't have the password. She's like, no, you can't have that. Put that back. Put it back right now.
So I just remember, like, I only had like $20 on me, and I just grabbed as many movies as I could. I remember grabbing a couple of seasons of Simpsons and other stuff that I'd
piling on a few genres of stuff.
Yeah, but mostly it was Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Pet Sematary, Scanners.
Pet Sematary, a few classics in there.
Oh yeah, I did my research beforehand. Like I remember reading about, I remember hearing about these movies. Friends tell me about it, and yeah, I finally got them. And luckily, I knew the girl working behind the counter went to school with me. She's like, "You want some more movies? I'm not going to charge you."
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we're just like, yes, ma'am. And I came back with a fucking pile of like 15 to 20 movies. Like, so that
just up to your chin,
yeah,
holding together.
I think I got some Child's Plays in there as well.
Oh,
and
fuck yes.
Got some really cool shit. And my mate walked up with the Speed Racer. Speed Racer remake. On DVD. Like, that's it. Like, I can understand if it was like on Blu-ray or something. Like, no,
just DVD Speed Racer.
And this was like before it's like comeback. This movie's comeback. It's now a cult sensation. Speed,
resurgence, did it?
Huge resurgence. Everyone loves it. Well,
maybe not everyone.
Cult film fans love it.
There's a few thousand people that like it.
Yeah, but I remember just watching it. Like, I was so disappointed too, because we came back here and we're like, we're gonna watch these movies, and we put Speed Racer on. I'm like,
I have so much more shit to watch.
And you
better shit, and you're gonna make me watch this?
It was almost 3 hours. I can't believe
3 hours.
It is
of just
what do they call the Wachowski siblings? Yes, one of their movies, and it goes for like 3 hours.
3 hours of just
CG,
like psychedelic CG colored.
It's like they just put like the craziest anime through like a 3D printer. Like, it just made the most batshit crazy thing. So I was just more like gobsmacked. I remember just like thinking, dude, really? That's it? She's not even charging you.
No.
Get something.
There is more stuff. Not even horror based, just more stuff. You're in Video Easy.
But anyway, get a bit back on track. Yeah. Remember coming home and like us a couple of times, it'd be like a Friday night or something like that with folks are out and us just sitting down watching Friday the 13th.
Yeah, watching these classic movies.
I think we got through the first 4. I think I had the first 4.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was up before. Oh my god, before Imposter Jason.
Actually, I do remember now. It's coming back to me. We watched Pet Sematary together, and like I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Don't go down that road.
Yeah,
it's trouble down that road.
Don't go down that road.
The ground is sour. You don't want to be putting your boy on there. The ground went sour. Fuck, I love Judd.
Judd,
he is the biggest, most worst. Like, Judd, if you just shut your mouth and sat on your porch drinking beer and not told him about, I don't know, the old ancient Indian burial grounds.
Stop stirring shit, Judd. Just sit down, drink your beer, shut up.
Don't go down that hard.
What an idiot.
So, yeah, that was, we kind of got into horror together. And then I, as usual...
took it too far.
As usual, once I get into something, I really get into something. Like,
I'm looking at the collection now, guys, and like I saw it from the beginning, and
I remember
it grew.
I remember my first like little
rapidly
like horror collection, and it was just the stuff I got from Video Easy, and then I got some Blu-ray stuff. I had like Night of the Living Dead. I think I had Day of the Dead, but not Dawn. I was pissed off I didn't have Dawn yet. And maybe 5 other not so good ones.
Yeah.
I think I had like Apollo 18. That is a bad found footage movie.
I can't say I've watched that, but can't say I'm going to either.
It's in my for sale bin.
How much are you selling that for?
Whatever they'll give me.
All right.
As long as it's Australian currency, I'm happy. It's away from me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, apart from that mess, let's talk about something that's not a mess that came from something that's not the best.
This hot mess.
It kind of, in my eyes, it kind of started as a mess because this is a remake of a not the best George Romero film ever.
No.
I don't think it's one of those cult films that has a really, really niche following. Like I can watch crap. I can watch anything. I've watched fucking Beyond the Darkness, and that I fell asleep twice watching that movie, and I still got through it.
My God,
I cannot unrecommend a movie more than Beyond the Darkness.
If there's anything you could unrecommend, it would be that.
That for sure. But yeah, I got the remake first, but I didn't watch it because I had to see the original because I found out George Romero, and this was when I first really. 2010 was around the time I really started getting into horror.
Got your toes wet.
Yeah. Like I finally had a ridiculous shelving unit full of horror movies, and it's like okay, yep, I'm into it now.
That's fair enough.
And I just had to get the original one, had to get the Crazies, and I remember sitting down, watching it, and I know a movie's bad if I pause it and take a break because I'd never do that, and I think I braked 4 times.
Oh my goodness!
And it's not even that it was bad; it was just boring.
Yeah. Just couldn't sit through it. Just didn't pull you along.
No, you could tell that he wanted to do something big, and just the budget wasn't there. It was
no funds.
You could almost say it was ahead of its time, but sometimes the
bit too ambitious, perhaps.
Yeah, like there was some funny scenes where there's a lady mowing the lawn, killing people with it, and shit like that, and fun shit like that.
I was not aware of this scene. That sounds pretty brutal.
Yeah. But
so it has its moments, I guess. It has
its moments, but it's just. It's a film that shouldn't have been shot in the day on the budget it had. Like it almost looks like a 70s sitcom or something like that. It just doesn't look like I'm watching Who's the Boss.
They should have waited a little bit.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. But that's one thing. Like George Romero, he's one of the directors who I can't say I straight up like. He's done some really amazing things. Like he made zombies. He made the modern zombie basically.
He is the godfather of the zombie.
But then he's done some duds.
Yeah.
And like even in the zombie genre, he's done some duds. Like I liked Land of the Dead. I think there was some really cool. Have you seen Land of the Dead?
No, I have not.
I thought you had. I thought you'd seen that one.
No, I have not.
Either way, it's not bad. But that was the movie where it was just like that was the last good George Romero zombie film.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And it was only just good, perhaps?
It had some cool moments. But like to me, like there's just some overly cheesy moments that just ruined it. Like just characters doing stupid things.
Well, that's horror though.
Yeah, that's an issue with horror I struggle with so much.
Victims are usually like 80% of the time complete morons.
Yeah, they're just meat bags to be ripped apart by the killer, and it's just like come on,
add to the body count.
Put a brain in that thing. Like, come on, it's gotta have some.
Zombies are smarter than you. You don't deserve to live.
Christ. Well, in that movie, the zombies start walking and talking, and they don't talk. One of them does, but they start. They start to learn.
And he kind of leads the zombies away at the end. I think I've seen the end of this movie actually. Now that you.
It's one of those like late night ones you see often. But it's funny. Like speaking of the downfall of George Romero, I was recently reading some news, and I told you about it today. And he's confirmed that he's coming back to the zombie genre with a new film called Road of the Dead.
Oh, that's right.
And I could not be less interested in the film.
Does not sound good at all.
This sounds like his grandson pitched an idea to him.
And his wife's just like, no, you have to do it, George. It's like,
hey, Grandpa George, wouldn't it be cool if zombies were in Mad Max and on an island?
George's like, sure, Billy. Yeah, that'd be great. Great.
As long as you shut up.
As long as it keeps you happy, mate.
So yeah, you can tell I'm not a huge fan of the original. But thank God, Breck Eisner got to make
Mr. Eisner.
He took the source material. Like something with old horror movies. There's always in most bad horror movies. There's a fantastic idea,
and they just can't expand on it enough.
Yeah, they can't pull it off.
Yeah,
and these guys, they did it. They absolutely made this movie as it should have been.
Oh yes, and from the get-go, it is just
it's one of the.
It's a ride for sure.
I could easily put this as one of my favorite horror films.
Yeah,
like it's
relentless.
It's relentless, and it's not like Inside level where it's almost offensive with its gore and its themes. It's probably one of the more realistic, gory horror films. Yeah.
Like the gore is necessary for how these people are getting killed.
And I can't really think of a stupid moment.
No.
Like, there is some naturally stupid moments.
You know what I find? I kind of found this interesting while watching this again for like the 5th time. I kind of realized that they have an intelligence. They are planning. Like,
100%.
There's that scene and the principal is sitting on the bleachers and he's just kind of looking there. And I honestly think he's contemplating like what he's going to do. 100%. And same with Bill. Like, his family are concerned about him. He's probably thinking, you know what? I'm going to kill these people somehow. How am I going to do this?
They're going over in their head, how am I going to kill these people? Because
it's just bringing out the insanity within us, I guess.
So like, before we dive into too much, let's give listeners who, if you haven't seen this film or you're not aware of the original or anything like that, it's a cool premise. And
very cool.
Unfortunately, I think this movie was marketed wrong. It was marketed as a zombie movie. And I could see why, but it's not a zombie movie at all.
At all.
No way.
Unfortunately, I think it was just bad timing of release, perhaps, that kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of like Dawn of the Dead remake was not long before this, I don't believe.
And it kind of just overshadowed this film, perhaps.
Yeah, it kind of happened in the 80s and 90s for a bit there with like remakes of old 50s movies, like Invaders from Mars, The Fly,
and some of these
The Blob.
And most of them are really good.
They are. Usually,
from what I hear, they're really good. Again, movies I should have watched, guys.
Oh, you've seen Invaders from Mars.
True.
That movie was so much fun.
God, it's stupid.
Toby Hooper coming through again. Fuck, I love that movie.
Madness.
If you've seen the original, you will be aware that the aliens are like prototype morph suits made from AstroTurf. So this one, they're testicle monsters. So natural progression.
Yes, of course.
Once again, thank you, Toby Hooper.
Thank you. You're a good man.
Keep on keeping on, buddy. So, as always, I'll read the synopsis. Let's have a look at this.
Let's hear it.
A terrifying reinvention of the master George A. Romero's 1973 horror classic, where a mysterious toxin in the water supply turns everyone exposed into mindless killers. Sorry, I missed a couple of words. In a small Midwestern town, the American dream has gone horribly wrong. The residents of the picture-perfect town are going more than a little crazy as they succumb to an uncontrollable urge for violence. As the horrific bloodshed escalates into anarchy, the military use deadly force to close off access into or out of the town, abandoning the remaining few healthy citizens to the growing mayhem. Sheriff David Dutton, played by Timothy Oliphant. Oh, God, they credited him as Die Hard 4. He's done better shit than that.
Yeah, what?
Deadwood, come on.
At least Hitman, perhaps.
Yeah, shit, he did better. Yeah.
That was a pretty decent
better
Hitman
than
movie,
Die Hard
even though,
4.
Most the 2 Hitman movies are pretty shit.
The first one was... The second one, we don't even speak of Agent 47.
Don't worry about that.
Ugh.
Audi advertisement.
Oh, but fuck, yeah, spot on. That's all that movie was. So yeah, joining David Dutton is his pregnant wife Judy, played by Radha Mitchell. Oh yeah, she played the mum in Silent Hill. Yeah, I like her. She was really good.
Yeah, I can't remember what else I've seen her in, but I don't think I've ever seen her do anything bad.
No.
And in this, she's great.
She's fantastic. We've got Becca, played by Danielle Panabaker. That's her name. An assistant to the medical center, and Dutton's deputy Russell, played by Joe Anderson.
Oh,
he was great.
Fantastic.
They find themselves trapped in the once idyllic town they can no longer recognize. Unable to trust former neighbors and friends, they band together in a nightmarish struggle for survival.
Nightmarish is an understatement, guys.
Oh my goodness.
This movie, if we existed in this world, oh my God.
Oh yeah, like this is like
pure horror.
Really cool how there's two enemies in this film. They're the infected of the... And I love the name of this virus, the Trixie virus.
The Trixie virus.
Yeah, so
It's a nice name.
the infected people of the Trixie virus attacking anyone who's not infected, and then it's the military. The military using deadly force and killing anyone.
Mass murder, mass cover-up,
like
crazy.
We're gonna spoil the shit out of this movie.
Oh, guys, if you don't want to spoil, you want to watch this, don't listen further.
We can't talk about it if we don't spoil it. And I'm gonna go straight out the gate. They fucking wipe this town out, and it's a side of horror that doesn't really get touched on too much, where it's like military literally wiping everyone.
Yeah, it's complete. A complete erasion of
it's like someone just like
town. It's
deleted, ripped it off the map.
You're on a map and then they've bit of whiteout done.
Yeah,
that never existed.
Oh, and so we'll quickly explain before we start talking about what happened in the film. The Trixie virus. It's a toxin it's a bioweapon.
Yeah, it was a bioweapon that was actually on the way to the incinerator. I quote from a character you'll meet later in the movie.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the plane that it was on crash landed in the town's water supply in the local river. And unfortunately, it spreads into their water supply, and it is a toxin that is activated through consumption. So, unfortunately, those drinking that water become infected, and the closer you are to the beginning of the water supply, the quicker you'll be infected. So you have
such a good detail.
It is.
It makes sense.
It makes so much sense, and those that are further away are more than likely to survive if they realised quick enough.
And I watch a lot of film essays and stuff like that, and one piece of advice I always hear come up is put a ticking clock on it. Yeah. And you're not aware of it, but in one character says something. Russell says something like he realizes where he lives, and straight away it's that moment like, oh no, Russell's going to be sick.
Yeah.
We don't know when though.
No, and they plant that little seed and they make you aware. It's like, shit's going to go down with Russell. And I actually felt like a bit of sadness when it was first revealed to me that Russell was infected.
Oh,
it's like,
100%.
He's so awesome. He does amazing stuff. He's so smart in this movie. Like, his actions are always right.
Yeah.
And it's just not nice.
When we usually, if you listen to the last episode, we're trying to make segments in a way, trying to give it a bit more structure instead of two giggling idiots. Yeah. Just going crazy about a movie. But we simplest way is talk about the good, talk about the bad. I'd say let's start talking about the bad. There ain't none.
No, can't think of anything bad in this movie.
This doesn't
happen.
I'm
a bit biased, obviously. It's my favorite, but honestly, it's my favorite because it's not bad.
There's not a bad. Usually there's a character who will piss me off. There's, feast, shaky cam. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Dumb characters. There's none of them.
Everyone is smart. Everyone is instinctively trying to survive. Those that are trying to survive, and the visuals, the action, everything is spot on.
This is a perfect case of when you just let a director and the team make the film that they were pitched. They pitched and they wanted to make, because I've watched the makings of and all that sort of stuff, and they just were allowed to make the movie they wanted to make.
They had full confidence in them, which you don't often hear from studios and whatnot.
Especially in horror.
They usually try to hold hands, but
you look at a lot of modern horror now, it's just like, can you put 5 more jump scares in there, please?
Yeah, just fill that space up, yeah?
Yeah, just...
We need to
drop some pans.
Make our audiences shit themselves a little bit more.
Yeah. So
that's jump scares is a good point. Sorry, but there's not many in this movie.
No,
and when they are
right,
they're done right. There's a few cheeky ones. It's like, you little shits.
Yep.
But it's perfect.
It's not it is accompanied with the James Wan falling on a piano sound, but it's not as deafening as in The Conjuring and stuff.
No, it's not the sound that scares you. It is the visuals.
Yeah, the visual backs up that sound.
Yeah, it's not just bum and you shit yourself.
Yeah, and fuck, it is just it's just a good horror movie. There's so much to talk about. How much I loved so many things in this movie. One of the things I love, you mentioned it before, it just starts.
From the get-go.
And it kind of starts like a police procedural, one of our other favourite types of films.
Yeah, of course.
We love detective stories, serial killers. Yeah. Anything with this started how I want movies to start with.
Mm-hmm. And just the small town, idyllic American dream.
And they nailed that.
At a baseball game, getting a hot dog, bit of banter.
Yeah.
Town sheriff, just talking to people. It's just nice, and then takes a turn like within the first couple of minutes.
And it was so realistic too.
Yeah, and the emotion from everyone. It's such an unprecedented thing to happen to these people. They're like, none of them would have expected someone to be killed right there in front of them ever. So like, it's such a peaceful world.
In this scene, like what we're talking about is they're all watching the game, and this bloke who's we find out his name's Rory Hamill, just walks onto the field with a shotgun.
Yeah, double barrel shotgun.
Not saying a word.
No.
And there's there's another moment where they can't compare these to zombies because they are the most psychotically calm people.
They are.
Oh my god.
Thinking. They know what they're going to do.
Oh yeah.
And in some aspects, like Rory does kind of slow down. He does hesitate. So it's kind of like they are still clinging on. But I think the longer you're infected, it's gone. You have no humanity left. You are just a psychopath. Well,
as they said, you've got the what was it, a 48
hours incubation period.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's when you see like they start getting the weird veins and the eyes turning yellow and weird shit like that. But
and like a bit of like, if they're contained, well, we'll get to that later. Like a bit of like self-mutilation. Like they need the violence kind of thing. I don't know. It's interesting.
But in the scene where he, as you said, like he's thinking like it felt like to me like he when he's got the gun and he's like put it down, he's thinking like, if I aim now I'll get shot. Like, so I'll wait a couple more seconds and then catch him off guard.
But David's way too sharp.
Yeah,
he's too good. But
he played such a good sheriff.
Exactly. But you're so right with Rory. And you see it multiple times with these face-off kind of scenes with these murderers. They're calculating.
Yeah, definitely.
They're thinking, how am I going to kill you?
And this is something like, this scene kind of summed it up, the whole, the scenes afterwards and the whole, him having to speak to the family and all that.
Yeah.
They captured like tight-knit small community really well. Like
everyone knows each other.
Yeah. And like they'll say things like, it's 5 miles to my house. It's 3 if we cut through Peterson's farm.
Yeah.
Fucking like so good.
Of course they'd know that. They live there.
Yeah. Yeah, the locals would know how to get around. It's their town. They would know everything.
And they've probably been living there generations.
And him being the sheriff and
the deputy.
Yeah, Russell being the deputy. Like they would know everybody, and
they have to. And the doctor, David's wife, is the town doctor. So
yeah,
she
Judy
knows everyone as well. Same with Becca being the assistant. So you've got these 4 characters that are crucial for this town's survival.
Yeah.
Who are the only survivors? I didn't even think of that before. Wow.
I thought they nailed it. Like and the moments when something bad happens, they did such a good job. Like they really emoted. Like they really look like they were pained by like the things that were happening. And when the military swoop in and grab them all, like those look like genuine reactions of
like people getting separated, and like that scene when David and his wife get separated, the fight he puts up to get back to her, that's what you would do, I think, if your wife, the love of your life, is getting taken away.
Your pregnant wife is getting taken away.
You would go nuts if you could.
And I just take a moment. Like this is probably like the best I've seen Timothy Oliphant. Like it's one of my favorite things I've seen him in, because he's funny. Yeah, like he plays a very serious hero, but he's not the usual hero. No, he does fuck up. He does lose his temper.
Yeah, he's not this super soldier. He's not this all-knowing man. He is a sheriff who has some training with a will to survive.
Yeah, and I think that's what...
And get his wife out.
Yeah, I think that's what made this movie stand out for me most, is because it didn't have it didn't go Evil Dead or any like other like big zombie movies where there's a scene of them fighting their way out. It was more like they had to, when they did have to fight their way out, it was out of sheer survitle. They just had to get out.
They've been ambushed or they've fallen into a trap. They've driven into the wrong place.
Yep.
Like, it's just all sheer circumstance.
And another thing, just like talking about like how it was made, like there's one thing like again speaking about like film essays and shit like that, like someone comedy, they say like modern film, they're forgetting that it's a film. Like it's a visual medium, so there's too much, and it happens with a lot of film. Like
too much just talking,
too much dialogue,
too much, 2 people on screen or 2 or more people on screen just chatting away. nothing going on in the background.
Yeah,
nothing...
like dialogue's easy, and that's why it's easy to shoot. It's easy to write. Like it's done.
It's good when it's good, but sometimes there is too much.
If you're forgetting it's a visual medium, it's like when we watched Orca for this one. I got so pissed off when there was a narrator. Fuck off! It's not a documentary.
No, go away.
I am smart enough to figure out what's going on
Exactly.
my own. I don't need to be told what's going on.
Yeah, and I remember you saying that when you watched it.
Oh, pissed me off
to no end.
But like this one, like just the editing was so good. It felt snappy. It felt Edgar Wright-ish. There were some moments when they're starting up the truck and they're cutting onto different shots and stuff like that.
But
everything just moved really. It's like turning the page of a book, like a comic book. You're just seeing each bit, and
it's honestly it is it's not a road trip film, but it is a journey from.
It's kind of like
they're trying to get out of town. They're trying to get out of this town, and
like there's one scene with the editing that really, I just loved was, it's Bill, who was a character we haven't really talked about yet, but he's the first one to kill his entire family.
Yeah.
The first crazy we see.
He's the first one to succeed in his killing.
Definitely. That's a fucked up way to say it, but it's true.
Starts it all off.
We see him trap his family in the cupboard and continue to just set the house on fire. It's pretty. That's a devastating scene.
And you know what else I find? This is going back to their calculation. There's a scene prior to the burning where the mother and son are in the house, and you can hear this kind of flickering.
Yeah.
And then they look outside the window, and it goes down to the shed where Bill keeps his crop dust, his tractor with the wheat harvesting wheel thing on the front, and it's on, and she goes in there, and it's horrifying. You think, what is he going to do? Is he in there going to run her over with this? And then she just goes in, and there's no one there.
It's all a distraction.
It's all a distraction for Bill to get into the house where his son is.
Yeah, to get his son.
To get his son. And just to think, he thought of that. He thought, I'll get the wife out, I can sneak in, maybe I can get the kid.
And then I'll get her when she
I'll get her when she comes. But doesn't quite play out that way.
But it still works in his favour, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
And he's...
And that little whistle at the end of it. He's no empathy.
Oh, yeah, but we got a little bit sidetracked, but just like after it's all set on fire, and David gets the call.
Yeah.
And then he's in bed, and Judy just turns to him and says, "What's that?" And then transition to the next scene, and it's just the sirens going and the fire.
And Judy and David turn up.
But it answers your question straight away.
Like, what
he didn't have to say, there's been a fire and a murder at the
No.
Peterson place or whatever Bill's last name was.
Yeah. Here we are.
Just really good, solid, simple.
Yeah. You don't need to over-explain things.
They're not holding a hand.
Audiences aren't stupid.
Oh, yeah.
They know what they're watching. They can put the dots together.
Yeah, some studios may think we're dumb, but we
ain't dumb.
There's people who spend hours and hours and days and, figuring out Ed, and Eddie conspiracy theories. Like, we'll we can figure it out.
We're the most educated generation yet. We're not dumb.
Oh, yeah, we've got access to way too much stuff. Christ's sake, we're making a podcast about horror movies. Like,
exactly.
That wouldn't even happen back in So, that's enough with, talking about Eddie. Let's talk about some really awesome, there's some insanely cool scenes in this movie. I can't even.
Should we start with probably the most iconic one that people will take away from this, and it appears on the cover?
Oh,
the pitchfork scene.
Oh, okay. So this is another a great example of editing, and they use sound so well in this movie. So a little bit of setup. We're jumping really far into. We're about halfway into the movie now. So the deputies, the sheriff and deputy, they figured out something's going on. They found the plane. They found out that there's people are getting sick.
They know what's going on now.
And that's when they realized that. And then that night the military come in, and they're on containment.
Yeah, they take them to the high school, and there's a containment unit set up, and
everyone gets separated. If you have a high fever, you get separated and taken into the now makeshift hospital.
Yep.
And if you're not sick, you get sent to quotation marks, safety.
Safety.
And, yeah, so Judy, she gets a high fever, gets the reaction, but because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So, so unfortunately,
such a sad. It's such a scary experience for us and David. He's thinking, oh my God, like, I don't know what's going on with these people. What are they going to do to my wife? She's pregnant. That's why she's got a high fever. Like, he knows
no one's
why,
listening.
but no one's listening. They're just following orders.
Yeah, they don't care. And so we cut to her. She's been processed and all that, and now everyone who had a high temperature and is infected is strapped to their own hospital bed.
Yep.
And they're being monitored and not taken care of, but to just be monitored, really.
Running tests on them. Yeah. And they knock them out with some happy gas or whatnot.
David's kind of long gone, and fucking I'm still not sure if they're crazies or if they were just town folk.
Because if you look at them, they actually kind of looked like police officers.
Well, they were from the fire department. It was a fire department truck.
Ah, that's right. Yes, I didn't think that. So it's kind of like, are they just trying to get the townsfolk out?
They didn't answer that.
But they probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, maybe not containing the things full of vicious people trying to murder each other.
Yeah, probably should have left that alone.
Oh.
But, of course, they were not aware.
Once all the crazies, once all the crazies are released, the military just bug out. They're like, we're not hanging around.
And they just leave everyone strapped to the beds. No saving anyone. It's like, no, they can just deal with it.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
And then, speaking of sound, you hear metal scraping.
Oh, and it is done so well. You hear it from. It feels like it's so far away. Yeah, and then it just grows and grows, and then
you see Judy and Becca. They're both strapped to beds and they're talking, and they're just like, "Dear God, what is that?"
Yeah, they're thinking, "Oh shit."
And oh God, it's so cool.
And then Mr. Ben, the principal, comes on in. He's covered in blood.
Yeah, you see, and he's just standing through the plastic.
Yep.
He sees them.
And he's just dragging a pitchfork.
Bloody pitchfork. Leaving this very nice trail behind him.
And, some of the people strapped into bed, well, all the people except for Becca and Judy are obviously crazy. So they're muttering to themselves. They're laughing. They're going nuts. And Ben walks over to one and just kind of looks at her.
Oh, the way he looks at them.
So, you're interesting. And then proceeds to shove a pitchfork through her chest and through the bed.
He literally just like,
yeah, like he didn't even
all
try
the way of it.
Pull it out and then push it back in. He was just like, no, I'm just gonna
keep pushing all my weight on here. Oh man,
the crunch.
Oh, it's brutal. Like he got all the way through that.
The amount of blood. This is where, with realistic, he's put 4 holes through this woman. She's going to be bleeding.
Yeah,
profusely.
She's got a paw.
It's horrifying.
And he takes out a couple more people like this, but then he sets his sight on Becca and Judy, and oh my! I usually don't get too. It's more the suspense that gets me in horror movies than it is the actual scare. And this is just really good suspense. I was just even though I knew what was gonna happen, I knew they're gonna run in and shoot him.
Of course,
shoot him and save the day. But still, oh God, get away!
Imagine
away.
And not being able to defend yourself at all. That would suck.
Totally strapped to a
just
bed.
No, you're gonna get stabbed. It's an awful experience.
Again, just it added to the fear, and the suspense was just that he didn't say a damn word.
No, none of them
so
do.
Calm.
None of them do.
They're just calculating.
The only time they speak once they're infected is at the very beginning, and they only say a few lines. Like Bill says, "They worry too much. I'm just tired," is all.
Yeah,
and that's all his response is.
Repeats
a few times.
Oh man, that is one of the best scenes.
Yeah, that's probably
that's how you do a scary scene.
Yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 right there.
Could you imagine how shit that scene would have been if you still got the same grating noise and all that and the tension, and then you just popped up and stabbed somebody?
Yeah, he just rushed it. Stab. No, the silence, the ominous feeling.
And when he's just standing there, and before he stabbed the first one, just standing there, sizing her up.
Yeah, why are you in the bed?
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Oh,
you can't do shit.
And so that's one of the So actually, speaking of people not being able to speak, there's one group of crazies that can speak. The hunters.
Yeah, these guys are interesting.
Yeah.
They're the ones you don't want to run into.
God, no.
That's an interesting thing. Like in the Crazies, like you would kind of think maybe that everyone would just kill each other, right? But people still maintain their relationships. You've got
once you're crazy, you're still
like these hunters still remain hunters. They're mates. They're hunting humans now instead of deer. Yeah. There's the car wash team. Like those guys all worked at the car wash, so they're still at the car wash.
Yeah.
Like they're not killing each other. They're killing other people working together.
It is a strange, and I keep bringing it up. I just don't know how anyone can compare it to a zombie film because there's no need for it. They just want to kill you. Yep. They want to rip you apart and murder the shit out of you.
It's just
just murder the shit out of
relentless.
you. It's just the action is done really well, and it adds to like the character building, and it just adds to the whole journey. Yeah,
and the more they see, the more it tears them down. There's
definitely
like, the stuff that these people are surviving through is horrific, and you see that as they go on. The more they lose, like it's not just their friends that they're losing; it's their home, it's their lives.
I'm glad you brought that. There was a great scene when they've escaped the high school hospital. They're on the road and they've survived some heavy shit. And they finally get back to their home.
Yeah.
And instantly, I love this little moment. Judy snaps a little bit and just gets all the washing off the line.
Yeah, she starts taking the towels off the line.
And like, David's police cruiser has been burnt out and destroyed, and all the shit's going on. And she just had to get the towels off, and she just kind of loses it and breaks down.
Yeah, it's like she says, this is perfect. Like this is where we were going to raise our baby.
Yeah, it's a perfect morning on a perfect place with the perfect home.
Yeah,
to raise our baby and all that, and the town is gone.
Yeah, everything's gone. This town is dead.
Everyone we know is dead. This town is dead. Yeah,
and it's never coming back.
Never coming back. Such a strange thought. Like that's it tackles some really big fears.
Yeah. The loss of everything you know.
Yeah. It's not just, oh my God, this character's gonna die. It's more like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, you go out to work and you come home and your house is gone, or like your entire streets, everyone's dead.
Everyone's
what do you do?
Killing each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this scene actually leads into probably one of the other amazing, scary moments.
Yeah.
Where Rory's wife and son have come to seek revenge. And this is something I had thought of. This virus, the Trixie virus, brings out people's insanity. It brings out their insanity and drives them to try and kill David.
Oh, that's a good...
They were waiting in his house.
Oh, so that's a good thought.
They probably did the cruiser and everything.
If you apply it to all the characters then, so that shows that the hunters have always wanted to hunt and kill people. Bill always wanted to murder his family. Oh, dude. That's cool.
This is a deeper layer.
That's a cool thought. Yeah. I didn't think that, because I always thought it was weird because you saw them, like, they booted all the cars. Why would the military burn his? Yeah, that makes sense. Why wouldn't they burn? Because they've been there. Who knows how long they've been there?
They look very infected.
Oh, very infected. Well, they were the first house, so
that's true. They'd be infected the longest, and and it's there's these scenes in this movie, and you honestly think, shit, they're gonna die. Like, it's utter desperation.
It is very believable action too.
Yeah, this I'm just gonna have to say it. Like, he's getting choked. David's getting choked by the son. He's on the ground. His gun's on the floor. He's reaching for the gun. Yeah. And then the mum stabs him with a knife through the hand. Like,
straight through the...
What can he do? What can he do?
Yeah.
And then he manages to get out of it.
This was so cool.
This was brutal. Rory's wife is about to kill
Judy.
Judy.
Yeah, all right. So they're in the nursery, and like, Judy was having a moment of sadness, just wishing that things had been the other way and all that sort of stuff. And that's when the mum, ambush her, and they've got her tied to the bed, tied to a chair. As you said, they're in this scene, like her sorry, I forgot his name again. David on the ground, choking and with his hand pinned to the ground with a knife. And again, calm is so much more scarier than angry. Like,
yeah, just standing there.
She picks up, gets the gun and points at her son like, "This is the gun that killed your father." And he kind of pulls a bit tighter on the noose, and she just shoots it off once, heavy, and then points it at Judy. I'm like, oh, that is fucking terrifying, because like, you would know if you're on the ground, like there's no that moment of like there's no talking with you. There's no way I can talk you out of this.
So all he can do is make her angry.
Oh yeah, because that was sorry, we didn't talk about that bit. Oops.
Yeah.
Roy was a town drunk. So David, and as most people there, thought he just got back on the wagon.
Yeah,
and
he'd been off for 2 years.
And he was just out of his mind drunk and had to be put down. But as it's found out that, no, he's been quit for 2 years. He's been very proud, according to the family. And the doctors, his autopsy came back, zero, no blood alcohol at all. No alcohol in his blood at all. So to get her angry, as he's on the ground with it, being choked with a fucking knife through his hand, screaming like, "No, don't kill it! I killed him! I killed him! I killed the fucking town drunk!"
I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, they should have given me a fucking medal.
Yeah,
and and it was so cool. It's just one of those like, it reminded me of the Last Stand kind of moment. Just like, don't care about my physical body. I just gotta kill you, and pulls his hand up to like the handle of the knife, and manages to get it out of the wood, and then fucking gets her right in the neck.
He elbows the son, gets him off, and just fucking Assassin Creed into the throat of this woman.
Definite hidden blade moment.
And again, realistic. He hits her in the jugular. There is blood everywhere.
And again, like,
and he's so happy he's killing her. He's just like, fuck you.
Oh yeah. That was a moment of just like him letting go, because she vented. Of course, you're going to vent at the person that killed your husband, but it was a moment of like, fuck you, lady. Do you think I wanted to kill him?
Yeah, I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, and so that is just kind of sick satisfaction for him. You shouldn't be enjoying this, but like he's like, fuck you. You threatened my wife.
Yeah, you nearly killed me.
And then you throw all that guilt on me because your husband tried to kill a bunch of people, kids playing baseball. Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you, bitch.
But again, with the comedy just mixed in there a little bit, she's got his hand in her neck, and he's like, fuck, I can't get it out.
Yeah, he's got like, oh.
So now he's going to pull the knife out of her neck and out of his hand. Oh, God.
It's pretty brutal. There's funny moments like that, little like bits of banter. Like when Judy is in the hospital bed, going back a bit, and like she yells at the pitchfork guy.
Oh my God!
To get his attention, and then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna come kill you." She's like, "Shit,
what have I done?" Speaking, like, there wasn't much. This is not bad at all, but not much like weird. But like they could have done another take, because that no was so weird.
Yeah, what?
No.
It's like a testy pop kind of thing.
It went for ages, though.
Yeah, it really dragged on. It wasn't echo. It was just, she has big lungs.
Shatner would be fucking jealous. Like, she outdid him. That was...
Yes.
And it just took me back. Like, what?
It's so
Why
offensive.
would you yell it so loudly? Like, no, it's like so weirdly. That was such a weird no. But again, with the humor, like when he comes in and shoots Bill. Was it Bill? I can't remember. The principal.
Ben.
He comes in and grabs her. Like, you okay? He's like, no, not really.
No.
So those are the great little human-y moments.
100%. Yeah.
Like, I would talk about this. I'm very excited about this thing, but I'll talk about this another time, another episode. But Neil Blomkamp is doing his thing, Oat Studios, experimental films and such like that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we recently watched one of those.
Yeah, oh man, I've watched them like 5 times a pop. I love them. Anyway, I'll restrain myself for now. Keep talking about Crazies. But one thing that this movie did that he needs to do a little bit was like great ideas, but the characters were very cliche.
Yeah. Very standardized characters.
And it happens a lot with, most slashers or stuff like that. Characters, they're going to fill their stereotypes.
Yep.
But this one, it just, the way I felt like each one of these people knew each other for years.
Yeah.
I believed 100% that Timothy Oliphant has been working as a sheriff in this town and he's married this woman.
He's married Judy.
He's married Rada Mitchell, and
this is their actual lives being torn apart.
Oh my god! Just there's that bit when they discover the plane.
Yeah.
And that annoying shit. Terry, was it Terry?
Trevor
Kept asking about a reward.
Yeah.
what was the line?
He's like, Trevor, if you ask me about that one more time, I'm gonna throw you off the fucking boat. Just the way he deals, and also like this is like another thing with the sheriff. Like he knows about different people and what they've done and stuff. And in the beginning scene, there's the baseball pitcher, and Russell turns to me and goes, he throws fast, and David says, drives fast too. He goes, good throw, Mitchell, or something like that. And just picking on people, kind of.
He enjoys his power.
And like with the hunters, like they discover a dead body.
Yeah, they discover
the pilot of the plane, and he says, well, it's all well and good. He kind of says, it's all well and good you found this guy, but you're hunting. I told you can't hunt. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And as he's walking away back to his car, he's like, guns away by 4. And they're like, oh, come on, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Just like these little kids just being told by their dad they can't play anymore.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Again, it just, I love how they just captured that small town. Like,
and everyone respects the sheriff.
Yeah, like even when they were getting rounded up and everything, they look to him.
They're
like,
asking
him,
what's going on, Sheriff? Like, what is happening? He's like, I know as much as you guys do.
As much as you guys.
Should we talk about Russell?
Yeah, I liked Russell. Russell was cool.
Yeah, and Russell's descent into madness.
Yeah, it was. You're doing something right when you actually you feel sad that the buddy is getting sick.
Yeah. And actually the first exhibition of his symptoms I don't know, exhibition, is that a good word?
Sure, that's a word. Sign, maybe?
The first sign of him exhibiting symptoms.
There we go.
Shooting Roy's wife and son multiple times after they've been killed.
Yeah.
He's like, and he goes, just making sure.
He got the stare.
That's right. They all have a look. They all have this blank, deadpan stare.
It's like they're looking straight, into the back of your head.
Yeah.
They see straight through you.
Soul.
Yeah. And yeah, so that was a really they handled it really well.
Yeah.
It wasn't like usual in zombie movies where someone gets bit and they think they're special, so they don't tell anybody that they got bit.
No, he makes everyone aware that I'm pretty certain I'm sick.
Yeah.
Quite early on.
And David's like, no man, I promise you're not sick, and he can't deal with that.
Who's the sheriff of this town? You are.
Who's the deputy?
Who's the deputy? I am. Sheriff tells the deputy what to do. Deputy does what the sheriff says.
Does, yeah.
The sheriff says, you're not getting sick. And it kind of just, he's like, all right, fine, let's keep going. Russell's about to give up. And he's like, no. David keeps pushing everyone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he definitely does. And there were, it's not the usual cliche where he's like the tough hero and all that, because there's moments where near the end of the film, he should give up in a degree, to a certain extent, because it's just like, hey buddy, that's it. Yeah, there's no more options.
No, you're pretty much done.
Mm-hmm.
But they just by the hair of their teeth,
just make it.
Just make it.
But again, with Russell though, it was really good buddy cop kind of moment, but not
lots of good bits of banter.
Yeah, just good. They felt
they've been working together for years.
They talked about the catfish they caught on the weekend, stuff like that. And it feels normal. It feels like two mates. There was a great scene. This is the moment when they realize that shit's gone down. And again, talking about the police procedural, I really liked in the two enemies how it's the sheriff and the town uncovering this thing and trying to solve it, whilst at the same time the military is watching them via satellite.
Yep, knows exactly what's going on and what they're about to do.
They've known it since day one, and
are merciless.
But with this is great little scene that leads to this bigger one, and they've gone back. I can't remember what led them back to the station, but something led them back to the station, and there's Bill standing. No, they thought he was dead. He's lying on the ground.
That's
they thought he was dead.
Yes.
And Russell's about to open it up, and Dave's like, no, don't do that.
No.
And he's like, what if he's dead? And he's like, if he's dead, you won't mind waiting a bit longer. Yeah. And that's when he does the jump up and try and grab them.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like this feels like something I would have said in like this kind of a situation. He jumps up and they all jump. The pair of them jump back, and he's just like, "Did we or did we not order a transport for him this morning?"
Yeah. We need to get rid of this guy.
Yeah. It's a common sense reaction. Like in real life, people aren't going to be, "Oh my god, what is that? Why is he doing it?"
Wow.
It's
what's
like,
going on?
Fuck that guy.
Oh shit! I'm not going near that.
Yeah. But again, this also a great funny moment. Like kind of relieves the tension a little bit, but brings it straight back up when they realize all the phone lines are dead and they can't get internet access.
That's the thing. Like this movie gives you like moments of reprieve, very brief moments, and then you are back into this fucking shitstorm.
Yeah, you finally think things are about to be safe, and it's like, nah, pull that rug out from under you. And it's not cheap.
No,
it's never a cheap moment.
And it's always just like, oh guys, I just want them to get out. Like, just let them have it easy for a bit. Nah, fuck you.
Yeah,
fuck you, David.
It's never a cheap moment. They didn't lose because it's usually the odds are against them, but it was never a dumb mistake. Like, let's check upstairs. Like
no, it was always just to survive.
Yeah,
it was always just to get out.
They didn't want to go into the car wash, but it was out of just sheer necessity because fucking
Apache helicopter is about to blow them up. Like, you'd go into a building too.
Yeah, you hide. Oh man, like fuck! I could just talk about all the kills in this movie. Each time we talk about something, there is a kill or there is a ridiculous, awesome scene.
And like, as much as these murders and stuff are just brutal and
horrifying.
Horrifying, realistic. I think this movie, it really shows you how far people will go in terms of violence and murder.
It didn't glorify it.
The government cover-up. Mass murder. To cover this merciless mass murder.
It didn't make it like, again, I keep bringing up zombie movies, but it didn't make it like the body count.
No.
When someone gets killed, you're like, fuck. Oh my God, that was Becca. She was just 16 or something like that.
And it's Becca's death particularly.
Oh, but that was
shocking.
I thought she was gonna be okay, but fuck.
No, like they just couldn't let her live.
This was the car wash scene. Like they're finally getting out, and one of them smashes through the back windshield and wraps one of the hoses around her neck, and she just gets yanked out of the back of it.
Yeah,
fuck.
And like you can see, and that's what I like. It's a bit weird to say I like it, but that's what you see in this scene. You see that shock when she kind of gets to the end of the rope.
Yeah.
That's what kills. It's the breaking of the neck. She doesn't suffocate. She's not struggling. She's dead instantly.
Oh, yeah.
And this is another part where you see Russell, he's going into madness. And I think, what did he do? I can't quite remember.
That's right, they're in the middle of this car wash and it's been turned on and these fucking crazies are trying to get to them. And he's freaking out a bit, as they all are, but he's usually holds himself, but as you said, these are the moments where he's starting to unravel a bit. And he winds the window down and starts shooting out, and fucking David's like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's like, I saw movement.
It's like, everything is fucking moving.
Yeah. Usually Russell's the guy keeping it together, and he's the one calm, collected,
and
accurate.
And he fucked it up a little bit. Like, he now gave them an open window to get into the car and shit like that.
No ammo.
But this scene, like, it kind of sums up some of like the best parts of this movie, like weird location. Like I've never seen a killer car wash.
No, I can't say I have.
No.
And it's actually quite a scary thing. You're seeing these silhouettes through the suds.
Yeah, through the suds and the big whirring noises and stuff like that. And this huge machinery.
You can't hear dick. Like it's just loud.
Very true.
Visibility is cut off.
But then
you're in a car.
You've got great violence. Shaky cam when necessary.
Yes.
See, I don't like shaky cam, but sometimes it works, and it works really well in confined spaces.
Yeah. And even then, like, I don't think it's too shaky. It's not to the point where it's like a guy shivering holding the camera. He's just
it's kind of like he got knocked a bit when David got knocked. Like it worked. You didn't feel like motion sickness or anything like that.
No.
But and it's got the comedy.
Yep.
With to balance out the tragedy of Becca's death, we've got a nice little comedy moment where they drove out of the car wash, but they saw Becca get pulled out, so they jump out of the car. They turn to go into the car, and the Apache helicopter fucking blows it up.
Yeah. It sounds like, boom, gone.
And Russell's reaction made me laugh so hard, where he's just like,
yeah.
Just what do you do?
What can I do?
All you can do is laugh. You laugh or cry.
Yeah.
And you laugh.
And well, an insane man would.
I guess I'm insane.
Yeah, well.
But again, another moment summing up how well made this movie was, all in this one little scene, was when she died, when they checked the pulse and they realized the car wash powered down.
I didn't notice that.
It made the second finger was on the pulse.
That is cool.
I was like,
oh,
that is beautiful detail.
Little details, man.
There's a lot of those. Like, there's one, the Mayor Pool scene. I love it. It might be a bit of an on-the-nose metaphor, but do you remember the scene where he's trying to get the water shut down?
Yeah.
The man he's talking to, he has to get his permission to shut down water, is swimming in a pool of water in the middle of a field. He's drenched in water, talking about how much they need water.
Wow.
And fun fact about that little that was a total accident, that scene.
They found that, didn't they?
They found that pool. They were just location scan, and they found it. There's no house there. There's nothing.
No,
it's just an abandoned pool. And they were just like, fuck, that's... Yeah. And a lot of this movie was just absolute sheer luck.
Yeah, they literally went to Iowa and
searched,
found their locations. They just
like
stumbled across stuff.
With like that's the big finale, is the truck stop.
That's probably the one they had to pay for.
They didn't. They paid a little bit. In the way truck stops work, I don't know if it's in Australia as well, but they cannot close. Legally, they cannot close. They have to run 24/7.
Because they're always,
exactly.
They're always running trucks. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, they just could not find any truck stops that would allow them to shoot for like an hour or anything like that. Right. And they were going to cut out that scene completely.
Oh, no.
And then they came across, so speaking to a local saying, oh yeah, the truck stop just closed down about a week ago. It's closing down as we speak. They're packing it up. And
holy shit.
They gave him a couple of grand and they let him shoot. That's why they were allowed to rip through the garage door and muck around in the diner and do everything.
That's cool.
So that's, again, just perfect. It's like the universe wanted this movie to happen.
I think so. I think so. People, something wanted this made. And
oh man.
And like, just touching on the garage door, that's another thing I like about this movie. There's a lot of practical effects. Like walking down the main street of the town, there's burnt out cars everywhere, smashed buildings and windows. That, I think, is pretty much 100% all real. Yeah. That's all there. They're walking down this street.
There's almost no CGI. The only time is when it's like an explosion. And even then, like, people get set on fire, they get set on fire. Like, there's really no CG blood.
No CG blood, guys. Another reason to watch this movie.
I hate CG blood.
CG blood is shit.
Like, it's turned me off so many things. I can't get through The Walking Dead at all.
No.
I've tried a couple of times now. Like, I've seen the first 2 seasons and I've tried to watch season 3.
It's always the same splatter. It's always the same
crap.
Little pink mist.
It's like, why bother going to the extent of making practical effect zombies and not squibs? Squibs, come on.
It's not that hard. Like, you can't be saving that much money on CGI. You'd probably save more money making squibs. And it's just silly.
It is silly. And this movie just shows, like, if you fucking do...
when there's a will, there's
do
a way.
Do it right. Yeah. If you can get that... If you can capture something on the camera, if you can physically do it, why not do it?
Yeah, exactly. And especially in a sleepy state of Iowa...
Yeah,
in a
little town of Ogden Marsh.
But you know what else? And it's just something you see in this scene of them walking down the street.
Mm.
It's what the Crazies are doing when they're not killing people.
Yeah.
There are 3 baseball players standing in an alleyway.
Oh, yeah.
Synchronized punching a dumpster.
That was never... Oh, my God, they didn't expand on that.
They didn't expand on it. There's lots of little things. There's one scene towards the beginning of the movie where a middle-aged woman is riding on a little girl's bike and she's got pigtails and stuff.
Yeah, she's singing.
There's just these weird behaviors.
That's actually, like, from what I understand, because, again, nothing stuck with me in the original Crazies. I can barely remember it. I feel bad for not liking it. Oh well. But those are nice little nods, from what I understand, to the Crazies, because that's something he did focus on a lot, was them just acting strange. And as I said, there's a lady whistling away. I think that's why I feel like the Bill scene was a reference to her because she was whistling when she was on the lawnmower, and he used the wheat harvester to get her.
So kind of a little
nod,
little reference, yeah.
But yeah, like I did love those little moments of crazy, like when they're leaving the high school and it's the moment of Russell thinking he's sick. There's an old lady walking around, going to each dead body and saying, "Did Carl call?
Yeah,
did Carl call?
Did Carl call?" And like,
whoa!
And there's a lot of bodies. She's got a bit of work to do.
It's like the entire school is covered in bodies.
And they're not little gunshots and stuff. There's blood, guts ripped apart.
Oh yeah,
this is a messy movie.
But one thing, again, we talk about like visual media and all, like the medium itself. Fucking each shot, they didn't waste a single shot. No. Each one was visually interesting.
There's always something to look at.
Yeah, and something like, okay, like we're talking about modern comedy and some, like, Jumanji is coming out.
Oh, I haven't watched the trailer yet. Looks painful.
I'm gonna watch it because I think it looks like Goosebumps fun.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm gonna watch it because it looks
good.
like
Goosebumps remake. Yeah, that was a good movie.
That was fun. So I think it's gonna be fun. There's gonna be some stupid jokes and all that, but they just filmed it in Hawaii, and like it's the same shoots, like location everyone kind of uses when they want a tropical background, and yeah, it doesn't look visually interesting, and it's like that is a waste because you've got such a huge budget. You could have had that anywhere.
Yeah,
like, and with this one, they used the small town location, like these huge plains and all that, and even just something like the kitschy diner and all that. You could just print out some of these shots, and it's like, yeah, that's just a photo. That's a photograph. Like I talked to you about it before. There's a scene when just after he's killed Rory, and it's like dawn. And he's his wife comes out and he's working on,
because he's quite troubled by the fact that he had to kill someone the day before.
Well, that was in that scene when he shoots him, he's just like, oh god.
Yeah, he shoots him and then instantly he's like, holy shit, and he goes to attend to him. Yeah, he's like, I did not want to do this.
Yeah. And so he's churning it up and he's doing some woodwork on the balcony.
Yeah.
There's a nice tender moment of her just keeps repeating, like, it's not you did the right thing.
Yeah.
But cuts to a wide shot and it's just this beautiful off bluey, not quite dawn, not quite night.
Yeah, it doesn't quite know where it's at.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's not jarring, but it's quite a beautiful shot. And there's lots of scenes like that. Just like even in the nursery was well dressed. Like it was good colors, good, not a ridiculous amount of toys or dressing or anything like that.
Oh yeah, it's just quite simple.
Yeah, like everything. Yeah, it just caught my eye. Nothing like again with the pool scene, the colors were just like ramped up.
Yeah, everything's quite vibrant when it needs to be. And then
when the town was healthy, everything was really bright. And
that's a good point. When the town was healthy, it's not just the people getting sick; it's the town that's getting sick.
It's the water supply. Yeah, it's like the entire town is now affected by Trixie, and
it's interesting. No animals got sick, did they?
Good point. Yeah, not a single animal was seen in this movie that I can think of. There's a couple of cows.
A few cows. Moo.
Imagine getting killed by a crazy cow.
That'd be awful.
How would it kill
Imagine
you?
It'd be like Kung Pao.
Oh, God. It's going to kill me with a bad CG cow.
Bad CG milk machine gun udders.
What if you're like lactose intolerant, just like drowned you in its milk?
Take that, human. You like milk now?
Franken udder.
Franken udder. I like that.
So is there anything else you want to cover, man? Like, there's only one scene that I feel like we should, a nice spoilery scene to end, I think, the conversation on, I think. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I do, B1.
Oh, well, I'll inform you, B2. You reminded me of, I totally forgot about this, but once they were all separated and Judy was in the high school and David's at the truck stop, and they're all getting the blue bands and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, this is
awful. And you said, "Oh my god, it's fucked up that it's all a ruse." I'm like, "Hang on, what?" I totally forgot. And we see it when they get back to the truck stop because the whole motivation. The whole like goal is to get back to that truck stop because they know safety's there.
That's where they
thought
safety was.
And they get there and the truck stop's abandoned and he's going inside trying to find anything, and that's fuck, it still gets me. It's so well done. She walks out the back of the truck stop and there's all the trailers that they were putting people on, and you don't really notice it, but if you look on the ground and then they show it later on, just the ground is littered with bullets. It's just empty shell casing everywhere, and that's when it's discovered. David comes out to take care of her and she's just a mess on the ground, like letting the bullets fall through her hands and all that. And she just points, and there is all this healthy people
that were meant to survive,
that were being sent to safety, and they were told so fucked up by the military.
That's the thing. They fucked them. Like
absolutely fucked them.
They got them out. They said, you guys aren't sick. They took them on buses to the truck stop. They were giving them armbands. Like people were face to face telling them they're going to safety, and then it's revealed later that they were all being herded like cattle and gunned down and burnt.
They were put in the back of trucks.
No one was intended to survive this.
This town is meant to be destroyed and wiped and forgotten.
Yeah.
This was a mistake, and no one will ever know about it.
No. It's just off the face of the earth.
So with that, I think we pretty much covered just about everything.
I think we kind of ruined the movie for you, to be honest.
Good.
Yeah, fair out.
I can't think of many people who've seen it. Like I've recommended this movie to a bunch of people because they just and unfortunately it went under the radar. As I said, it was marketed wrong. It was marketed to be the next Dawn of the Dead remake and all that sort of stuff, and it's not.
I think I've shown one friend, like, just because they showed interest. Like, people just haven't heard of this movie, and it's quite sad because it's an awesome movie. People should have watched this. This is one of the ones that people should watch.
Oh yeah, don't watch fucking. There's so many things you shouldn't watch. I feel like such an old just crotchety old man. Like
The Crazies, 2010, Breck Eisner.
This is
just do it.
There's a lot of modern horror done right. Like this, The Crazies is great modern horror.
Yep.
Last Shift. I'm gonna do that. All right. We'll talk about The Crazies. I'm going to quickly do some recommendations because this movie 5 times. Recommend it 5 times. Watch this movie. Buy it. I don't care. Just get it.
Hurry up. What are you waiting for?
The Last Shift. That movie was outstanding.
I saw the ending and it was enough.
Oh,
that was just pure horror.
If you haven't seen it, go see it. Like it is paranormal assault on precinct 13. Like
it's worse.
Oh man,
so much worse.
So good. It's Charlie Manson cults and a haunted police station. The scares are so good, and the ending is a bit cliche, but like there's not enough action in modern horror.
No,
it's all ghosts.
And even if it doesn't have to be a lot of action,
no.
You just have to have like 10 minutes of it.
Fuck, like
that's it.
Even like Hannibal. There's a lot of talk, a lot of dialogue, but when there is a kill, there is an action scene. Oh my god, it has impact.
And like, Hannibal's like 40-minute episodes, and like when there's a fight, like that's a big fight. They hurt each other. So like it does help by impact, as you said.
And I'm up to date with Insidious and films like that, and I don't find them scary because I don't see a solution that's a physical one. It's always
it's an unknown, unseeable solution that only one person knows about, or like a group of people can kind of fix.
Yeah, and it's always a bit like, oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
But with this, it was like, like this is a relatable journey, and you could relate with, oh shit, how am I going to survive in this story, and not just, do I have that coin that will seal this ghost lady up? So, like,
was this handed down through the generations for this sole purpose? No, it's just a circumstantial thing.
Exactly. Like
I got to deal with it.
Last Shift is one that it's like, you don't have a solution.
No,
you just got to write it out.
Yeah, so you just see what happens.
Yeah, if you're out of some modern horror, I'm just going to do modern horror recommendations. So watch that. Watch Last Shift. Watch The Crazies. Oh god, I forgot what I watched. It was fantastic.
Well, you say that about most things.
Shut up. Another modern horror film where it's throws your expectations. Like there's another one, like, because I love it when they fuck around with cliche.
Yep.
And I know I just had a little rant about, fighting a paranormal thing, but Oculus. Wow.
Heard some good things.
Yeah, this is a good mindfuck of a movie. And yeah, they play with, you don't know, like, it goes to different timelines, but the timelines mix. There'll be moments when young, I can't remember her name, young Karen Gillian's character runs into older version of herself.
Okay.
And it's all about this evil mirror that possesses and makes you see what you want to see and go mad and kill each other. And yeah, it's another one with devoid of jump scares, really.
Okay.
Like,
more just the atmosphere.
It's unsettling.
The things that are happening around, but it's not really.
You'll watch a scene, and then they will go back and watch it on the cameras that they're filming it on, and then you see, like, because they were talking, and they turn around, everything's piled up, and then they watch the film, they watch the video, and it's them doing it all, but they have no idea, they didn't see it.
No recollection.
They can't see that they did it, and there's like one scene where she's changing light bulbs, but she's eating an apple at the same time. And she puts the apple down, and
she's eating the light bulb.
But she's eating an apple. It makes them think that she's eating a light bulb. So she's got to pull imaginary glass out of her mouth, and
she's in
absolute
real
shock,
pain.
Yeah, in real pain. And brother walks in, what's wrong? She's like, oh, nothing. So yeah, that's another. It's just a couple of selections. Like if you're wanting some modern horror that's a little bit different with a bit of action. Yeah,
something kind of on the same level as this amazing movie.
Yeah. Like if you want something that's not just boo scares and a bit more character.
Yeah, more depth in character, more.
And these are just modern ones. Like I don't really keep up to date with modern stuff because it's a bit. It happens with every decade of horror. It just gets saturated with a certain genre. Like
you're not wrong.
Now it's either found footage or it's ghosts and paranormal. Like 80s with slashes.
Yeah.
70s was weird. It went all over the place. Lots of exorcism films.
Yeah.
Exorcism was
jumped
huge.
Around a bit, like a bag being shaken.
Oh yeah, throwing some blaxploitation. Like fucking Blackula came out then. You just throw enough shit to the wall and it will stick eventually.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Well, with that, unfortunately, I think our time here is done. Our time in Ogden Marsh is over. We've survived the nuclear fallout.
Oh yeah, there's a bomb at the end, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big spoiler. Oh, the whole town gets wiped out by a nuclear explosion.
We weren't joking about literally being wiped out. Like, literally wiped out.
Boom. That's not often the thing when it usually they'd save the town.
Nope.
That's another thing.
Ogden Marsh is gone.
Yep. Totally wiped off the face of the earth. And with that. Yeah. All right.
Mate, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for coming on, dude.
My 15 seconds of fame, it's coming to an end.
Oh, dude, you'll be back. This was fun. I hope you all enjoyed us two brothers just dicking about, talking about a movie we love.
Yeah, I hope you like me.
I'm sure they'll like you. If they don't, they'll sell us.
Yeah, just don't be too brutal.
So yeah, next episode coming up. Still don't know.
We're not sure where Paul is yet.
Paul may or may not be back. But as you may have known, things have been a little bit slow here. I've started a new job, so club life.
Club life. Pouring beers is hard.
Yeah, so I'm pretty indisposed when I can, but I'm spending as much time as I can on this, guys, and we will get on track. We'll get back to our fortnightly releases. Yep. Shit, weekly, if I had it my way. But
we'll have to see how it goes.
Why do I have to write such hard sketches to edit? Whose idea was it to put sketches in this fucking thing?
Some idiot.
Yeah, shit, I think it was me. Fuck.
Well, they're still pretty cool.
So, but anyway, we will have another episode soon. I'm not going to say yes or no because I really don't know what's going on a little bit. But if things all go to plan, we will have my young brother here back.
Oh.
And we'll have Logan back.
Oh.
For a movie that Logan is picking that I have no idea what it is. And I've said it before, it is going to be horrible late 90s, early 2000s crap that I'm going to hate. And so yeah, I cannot.
This is like a team up pod.
This is your guy's revenge. Like I made him sit through Feast. I've tortured Paul.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I tortured the shit out of him with Inside.
Good thing about being the brother, I don't have to say yes to him, so I haven't been tortured too much.
Oh yeah, you got good taste. Most people say, "Oh, dude, that's too far out." And you're like, "Oh, that was really cool."
Yeah, that's fucking brutal. I fucking love that shit.
So yeah, we will be back soon.
In due time.
In due time. When it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
We're not gonna. And I've said this before. I don't like. I'm a perfectionist, and I don't like putting my name on something crap.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah. I want you guys to be entertained, not bored.
That's fair enough.
If there's one thing a movie can do, it's the worst thing a movie can do is be boring. So same here.
Worst thing a podcast can do is be boring. That's fair enough.
So either we'll be back with all three of us, or there may even be a Paul involved.
A Paul.
And in the meantime,
long-awaited return.
There has been some awesome news in horror lately, so there may be another mini-sode coming up.
That'd be interesting.
But until then, if that doesn't all happen, we will be back in August for Stephen King month. Oh my god,
exciting!
I'm so excited for Stephen King month.
Fucking cool.
I've been doing my research. I've been
taking your notes.
Fuck, I'm only halfway through it. Oh my god, I got to finish that book.
Mate, hurry up. Well, I can't really say hurry up. It's so fucking thick.
Look at the size of that bastard.
No.
But anyway,
build houses with copies of that.
So with that, guys, rest in horror.
Rest in horror.